are live and well. Good Sunday. Happy morning, everybody. Get yourself the coffee, get yourself the creatine or the TRT supplementation, something to boost your energy this morning. And let's dive into the video. Joe, we had some serious, US response on the Middle East nonsense, which actually, Bitcoin actually dumped on it a little bit, right? It had a little dump,
Before, I think it dumped before it happened, actually, and now it's kind of floating. I don't know, man. I think, well, the reaction of the price of Bitcoin so far is kind of counterintuitive. I would think that it will go down further and that alts would get smoked 10-15% on news like that. But so far, actually it kind of stopped because yesterday before the attack, they started moving down. Everything was moving down, 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 and all of a sudden they stopped. So I'm looking at it. I'm kind of suspicious. But we need to really see how we know what will happen, I guess, in the next day to 48 hours to kind of reassess the market a little bit. What do you think, man? What is your speculation over here?
I'm waiting for the S&P tomorrow. S&P and Nasdaq, they are actually the representation of all the situation, the geopolitical, nonsense. And we'll see. At the moment, it's just weekend price action. It's not really tradable. You know,
No.
but it is bearish, man. Like short term, Bitcoin is bearish, altcoins are bearish. Ethereum lost support, man. Ethereum lost support and rolled over a little bit. People that were not preparing for shorts missed out on amazing opportunity. We nailed Siren, AIXBT, Ethereum is working. Many shorts are working. We also have more shorts that triggered recently. Like yesterday. And man, like for me, I don't care if Bitcoin will pull back, to 90K or to 95K. For me, it's just a natural pullback in a Bitcoin bull market. And it offers opportunity on every pullback on Bitcoin. Altcoins are getting wrecked. So really, people that don't know how to short miss out on easy profits, man. Like easy profits.
Yeah. We've been positioned into shorts for the past 2 weeks, actually. We took some beautiful shorts on C2s. S was another good short we took in the community. I actually took launch as well, short out of nowhere. So look, it's all about understanding what the charts is kind of saying. And what CM, you noticed, and I noticed, of course, that the charts are kind of screaming, short me. I don't know. you look at them in the past 2 weeks, and you just see that. But man, I mean, the thing that Trump used yesterday, man, the bunker thing, whew, I don't know, man.
New technology, new aircraft stuff, right?
Well, the aircraft is kind of old, but the bunker buster, the missiles that they used have never been used in the past. It's the first time ever that they used each each bomb, CM, each bomb weighs 13 tons.
Holy
each each bomb.
Wow.
It's huge. It's called the mother of all bunker busters or something like that. I mean, that's how it's called. That's the name. The mother of all bunker busters missile,
Bro,
whatever, man.
it, it
Serious.
can
It's serious.
the markets tomorrow can open, on a mega fear, it can rattle the market, man. Like because
You know what interests me? You said S&P, CM, but you know what interests me? Oil. I want to
oil,
see
yeah.
how oil opens, because if you see it, you know what? Let me share this a little bit, because I know a lot of people, a lot of our peeps already understand probably this. Maybe they don't. Okay, but oil, okay, has made a huge,
Oil
huge, huge
block.
reversal. A huge reversal. Look at oil. Oil actually broke down from multi-year kind of support area. Okay, actually, well, support and resistance, then back support, broke down. Let me put the color so we can see the color a bit better. Yeah, it broke down initially here. Okay, kind of created a tradable bottom over here, CM. This is Peter Brand called this a chair with an ottoman, but we can just call this like an inverse head and shoulders or whatever you want to call it, okay? Actually, I'm going to change to white, okay? And then it kind of had this horizontal breakout, but strong. You don't see these types of moves in oil. This is kind of an interesting move. Like actually the breakout was from here because this was the breakout. Made a 20% move in 3 days in oil, CM, okay? And now, you can see that it's kind of, trying to consolidate here. I don't know what's going to happen here. So I'm really interested to see, what the market, thinks about oil tomorrow, okay? Because the market knows everything, man. This oil market, if it goes up, then they believe this can escalate and, Iran can close the hormones, area and blah, 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 whatever. So it's going to be interesting to watch it. But, and maybe it will put pressure on the market as we are expecting to see, but so far we just need to wait for tomorrow to see how this opens. We can see that Bitcoin for now, okay, didn't make any move that was too strong. You see, yesterday it went back to 100,000 and kind of bounced again. You can see that it bounced here, okay, from the 100K, then it bounced here, then it bounced here. So, are we knocking, with lower highs on the floor, CM, trying to break it down? I guess that's where the probabilities are kind of sending us. This is going to be crucial. This area, if it breaks below this area, CM, I believe that's a crucial area for us to kind of watch. And of course, as you said, your position in shorts, I closed everything today just because I wanted to see how everything kind of works. But I'm going to prepare new shorts for my guys and my members to make sure that if this breaks down, we are ready and to trigger. But if it doesn't and moves up, actually kind of counterintuitive, I want to be ready also, CM, because who knows, maybe because of all of this, the market is going to believe, all right, strength is here. This is going to be resolved, earlier than people thought, just because of the strength that the United States came with, and they can buy it. Okay, so I'm ready. I'm leaning towards a breakdown just because of the pattern, but the market can surprise us. So I'm going to be ready for each scenario. CM, what do you think?
Yeah, man. That's like now it's like it's a geopolitical theme now. Like you're like usually you box only with Bitcoin, right? Now you have 5 more opponents. You have the S&P, the Nasdaq, oil come out from the right corner. Like where have you been? Oil haven't been in the ring for like 4 years or something. Now this is a problem, because if the market participants of like oil or the big daddies of the traders, the big traders of the world that trade the S&P and the Nasdaq, the big
macro traders,
the macro traders will start pumping the oil market. And they can, of course they can, and they live for this kind of geopolitical trades, let's call it. It will lose interest. Bitcoin will lose interest, and Bitcoin, if it have no interest, if it have no hype, Bitcoin, it's going down. It's just another crypto, They are all crypto, just like we said yesterday with the gravity. If they have no interest, they do what they are naturally designed to do, is to go down in value. And obviously Bitcoin can hold, Bitcoin can go sideways, but we're looking on the altcoin market as the money-making opportunities. And the best opportunity now, if you look on all coins, short the F out of them. That's how they look. And yeah, we talked about this as well. Guys, by the way, smash the like, wake the F up. Get yourself a coffee, dump some creatine inside or collagen. Wake up, man. Wake up, man. And give us
the morning people are so sleepy. Say hello, what's up? Ask questions. Where are all the comments about what happened? I mean, where are all the comments? Where is everyone? Where are
all the European men? The Europeans are
afraid.
Cooked, they're drunk. Afraid. They're drunk, man. They're drunk. European get drunk on the weekend. Like,
oh, true.
Let's drink some vermouth. Here, NT3s. I shorted BTC 110, ETH 28, Fartcoin, KAS, with the skills I picked up from the bear market webinar. Cheers, guys.
He's better
Boom.
than we are. He
Boom.
came to our seminar and now he's better than we
Yeah,
are.
he's actually executing the trades and the skills much better than the teachers. That's
That's
unbelievable,
amazing.
man. Shout out to Mr. Empty Trees. He's now back out of the trees as he's now dominating. He's dominating, man. Boom, boom, boom.
He
Let's
needs
look
to
on some
change the
stuff.
name from anti-trees to anti-dominator.
Yeah, man. Look, the Bitcoin dominance just made a move. Okay, so it's just now making a move. You can see this is a weekly chart. You look at this. This chart is hell bullish. If I could long Bitcoin dominance, I would long it. Okay, look at this, Jomo. This is a beautiful kind of breakout triangle. Kind of. You see that pop? It pop its head above resistance. Now will probably close the week high. And Bitcoin dominance looks like it's on its way to these levels, to the 68 to 71, ish. And if it's going up, altcoins are cooked. Usually altcoins are cooked. Let's look on ETH as well. ETH. Look at ETH, the dollar one, okay? ETH dollar. Look at this, the 200 day. Where is the 200 day? One sec. Here you can see how it got rejected from the 200 day MA. Look at this. Look at this fake out, and it lost support. Again, if it cannot rebound now back above the 200, above 26, 20, let's call it, it is kind of cooked short term, okay? It can definitely pull back to these levels, to this level. Why not? It's a crypto, They long it, then they sell, and then they short it. That's that's how markets move, man. It's amazing. It's so it's such an amazing market. It's always surprising me, that you can always short them. There is always short opportunities, even in a Bitcoin bull. Man, Bitcoin is at $100,000. Michael Saylor is calling for $21 million Bitcoin, and cryptos are still going down. Like, what the F, man? You're muted.
This Michael Saylor lunatic man said in 21 years Bitcoin is gonna be $21 million each. Man, he's a lunatic, man. You can't actually believe anything he says anymore, because he's just spitting speculations over speculation, and so it's funny. Nikki Pretzels is saying that he has been to the Hormuz. It's a scary place. Probably Nikki was serving his country by doing that. So we salute you, Nikki, for doing that. Not sure if Iran can close it. Look, hey, we are not war analysts. Hopefully they will just do peace, okay? And that's it. We'll move forward to a new world. I don't know, CM. I guess we just can hope for peace and move forward.
For me, I don't care, man. They can do whatever they want, man. Me, I just want the bull market with breakout trades, and just want the bull market. For me, the last major world event was the pandemic, the pandemic, and that was amazing trading environment for crypto. Really, that was the best bull market for me in my trading career. It was unbelievable printing machine. And for me, if they want to do another geopolitical event, I don't mind, man. For me, the last one was amazing. So this could be as well a blessing in disguise. Anyway, these events create trending markets. Or it's going to collapse and we're going to short the F out of it. Or it's going to moon and we're going to long the F out of it. So for us, traders, momentum traders, that's what we want. And that's what we're looking for, and that's what we are ready for. What do you think about this guy?
You guys, do you have any info about M2 supply or rate cut this year? Can this trigger another hype for crypto? Look, Mike, The M2 supply, I don't think means a lot. Everyone looks at the M2 as if that's the daddy of liquidity. The real liquidity you want to look at, okay, is new liquidity added to the market, by the United States initially, okay, not the M2 world supply. A lot of people are looking at M2, but the chart over there is kind of misleading, because it always seems like it's going up. In my opinion, okay, right now this might have come to a halt. We don't know, with all the BS situation of war, whatever, we don't know. But putting that aside, looking at things like in a perspective only on money printing, I've been saying this for months. The United States has a debt ceiling imminent. Okay, they will need to create new bonds and treasuries and sell them to raise more capital to pay that debt, to pay those interests. Okay. However, due to everything that has been happening, I don't think China is going to buy a lot. I don't think countries are going to buy a lot. So the United States need to buy it internally. They will need the Fed to buy it by printing money, and they will need their own banks and big hedge funds to buy it by reducing the limitations of the SLR on the banks and everything, which is something that has already started to happen. Okay, so my opinion, okay, these things are imminent. Okay, they need to happen. Okay, we don't know when. Okay, but they are about to happen just because of how the United States has been operating in the past 10 or 15 years. They have been always printing more money, creating new bonds, and so on to pay the debt. So new liquidity is going to come to the market, fresh liquidity. Let's see, okay, how this imminent situation kind of unveils, because we don't know what's going to happen right now in the Middle East. But besides that, that's what I'm looking at. But CM, Mike, okay, Mr. Mike Nicholson, and everyone hearing this, you don't trade based on assumptions. Okay, you can have predictions. You can look at the thing and say, you know what, the money is going to come, they're going to be printed, whatever. Okay, assuming you have an idea, but you don't you don't prehand, you don't jump the gun. Okay, you wait for that to happen. Until that happens, right now you had other things that are occurring. Okay, you have things occurring right now, and you need to. For now, we're short. Okay, so and hey, if you don't know how to do this, perfectly fine. We all have different journeys. That's why we have, in 3 days, this Wednesday, we have the Crypto Gem Sniper. What you should do, Mike, and everyone that is kind of waiting. You don't know what to do. You don't know when to buy. You don't know when to sell. You don't know. Just join the Crypto Gem Sniper. We invite you to come. We made and created this seminar for you. Look, CM, anyone that comes to the seminars in the past few weeks, look, even NT Trees said what he learned from the Bear seminar he's been making money thanks to it, because he learned a skill set. We are teaching a skill set. Okay, and this skill set is a profession you can take home and create a better life for yourself, instead of kind of hoping, wishful thinking, and not knowing. Take matters into your own hands. So the Crypto Gem Sniper this Wednesday, 9 a.m. EST, we're going to record it. You're going to have available for life. And of course, we're going to give you a list of all the banger coins that CM is watching right now and I'm watching right now. And each seminar that we show this, a few coins later blast. Okay, and the people that were in the seminar had a sneak peek towards it and could have utilized it for their own favor. Okay, what do you think, CM?
Yeah, man, and because we are now like kinda in a turmoil market, and there will be maybe some shorting opportunities. The first one to buy the sniper today live will get our Master the Bear webinar that will show you how to short crypto. What do you think about that, Jomo? It's a good thing to offer.
Offer. Oh, it's an amazing offer. The first one to buy will get the Bear seminar, the Master the Bear.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You got it, ladies and gentlemen. The first one to buy live, the Crypto Gem Sniper, okay, will get as an added value the Master the Bear seminar, where we taught people how to short. And as you've seen by what NT Trees said earlier, he learned, and now he's making it happen. Okay, he's executing beautifully. So a lucky person, the first one to buy right now, the Crypto Gem Sniper. Scan the QR code, scan it right now. CM, remind people how to use the thumb Do you remember the instructions you
They
gave
know,
them?
they know, they know, they know,
Yeah.
my friend. They know, they know.
Okay,
Let's
perfect.
see. We have this guy asking, hey, good morning. When you say you wait for markets to open, how long before you see confirmation of bullish or bearish? An hour, 2 hours? We're not waiting for markets to open. We trade cryptos. Cryptos are open 24/7. We just watch the S&P, watch how the S&P is reacting, the S&P, the Nasdaq, whatever, or market oil, and we're watching how they're reacting, how they are closing candles, and then we see if they have bearish posture. We see if there is any correlation with the price action of Bitcoin. Okay, because sometimes you will have correlation, immediate correlation, and sometimes you will not have any correlation. You're going to have inverse correlation. So you need to know what to look for, and we just watch it, just as a chart, just as another thing we're watching, but we're not waiting for it to open. Because the trades we take are not defined by the markets open. They defined by the chart that we are shorting or longing. That's it. That's it,
Yeah,
man.
I think just to clarify, the reason we want to see what happens tomorrow on the open on all these markets is just to see what big whales, big institutions, are going to do. Okay, and I've said it many times in the past. The way CM and I trade, we don't trade top to bottom. Okay, that's not our approach. We trade a bottom up approach. What does that mean? It means that we don't wait to see, macro confirmation and then we say, okay, if the macro says this and Bitcoin says this, so what are our trades going to be? Okay, that's not how we look at it exactly. Actually, what we do is look for the charts. The charts of the markets that we trade, we look at them first. Okay, if they look, for example, bearish, we will prepare a few trades for the bearish side. Then let's say, okay, they didn't trigger, maybe some triggered. Something happens the other day, a market opens, we see oil, doing something it's never done, and the market is actually reacting counterintuitively to what we thought. Then maybe we can close the trades, for example, maybe we can tighten the stop loss. But our decisions on the trades are based on the setups. They're based on the charts that we're looking at for the trades themselves. We don't say, all right, if we're not looking for a correlation trade where, oh, if oil does this, this is what I'm going to do. No, this is what I'm going to do. But if oil does something spectacular and the price action is very different than what we thought, then maybe I can reverse my thought process. Maybe I can tighten my stops. Maybe I can increase my aggressiveness. That's how we think about it. And it can happen in the first moment. It can happen after a day. We don't have a specific timeline of when that happened. Each time it can be very different.
Guys, don't forget, smash the like, subscribe, cook the bell, and share it on your X. Follow us on X, just in case, we're going to have any other technical issue with YouTube. Make sure to follow us on X because we stream daily, usually if all good. So make sure to follow us on X at Crypto Mindset 4 or at No Edge No Trade.
Do it. Follow us now. Follow us now on Twitter. Our
And drop,
X's are way too small. Way too small. Give us a
drop a
like.
question. Drop a question now because we're gonna wrap it up shortly. People looks quite tired, man, and drunk or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or afraid, CM. For some people, when they see this kind of news, they are afraid of what's about to come. And as you said earlier, look, every macro piece of news, usually is an opportunity, in disguise. Okay. So instead of kind of hitting, putting our hand in the sand, me and you, we open our eyes and just look at things. Okay. That's what we do. We've learned in the past, okay, that's what happens. Okay. So, we're opening our eyes, looking for the opportunities because whatever happens next, we want to be making money on it. We don't want to be missing it. We have a question from Mike Nicholson. What about ZBCN? I'm about to enter at 0.003. for me, just a quick answer, I don't wait for a specific price to get in. Okay. And we've said it multiple times over and over again. We actually say this, that we don't buy the dips themselves. Okay. We don't buy a dip. We don't wait for a specific number to hit. Although every now and then, you can get lucky. Okay. What we will do is wait for ZBCN to create a new tradable setup. That's it. Okay. At least for me and CM. So, I hope that answers it, because what you're doing right now is just you're asking us what do we think, whether that's a good entry or not, because I believe you're afraid that that's a wrong move to take because you don't know what's about to happen with all the macro things that are happening, whatever. Okay. So my answer to you is, okay, that's not how we operate. Okay. We wait for a tradable setup. And if that means we will need to wait for a higher entry like 0.0045 or 0.005 even, we don't care, because we're waiting for the right moment to enter with the highest probability of working, okay, from a low risk, high reward standpoint. Okay, so that's how we operate, man. Okay, CM, what do you want to add about it?
Sir, join the Gem Sniper, because we're gonna discuss the ZBCN strategy on detail, where we're gonna buy and what we're waiting for exactly in details, and many other names that you probably have no idea about their existence. We're gonna share with all the audience, so make sure to book yourself a spot in Gem Sniper. Let's look on ZBCN as well, obviously, because ZBCN is the daddy now. ZBCN, let's look on this guy. Look, I'm not buying downtrends. Okay, at the moment, again, this is a speculation that wave one is done. Okay, and now we are in wave two. How low it will go, I don't know. You want to buy at 3, go for it. Maybe it will not even go there. Maybe it will reverse from here. Me, I'm not buying downtrends. Learned my lesson. This is now, look, we are in a macro bull for ZBCN. Okay, macro bull. That means, from April 2025, we're now in a bull market. All right, we just started a bull market. Okay, but inside this bull market, you're gonna have downtrends, short-term downtrends that you really don't know. It's impossible to predict the price fluctuations, the short-term price fluctuations. So for me, the best approach is just waiting, just like Job was said, waiting for it to create a tradable setup or a bottom or something as a pattern that we know, that we already, we've been watching, and something that the big leaders are repeating again and again when they're continuing, and we're waiting for it. We're waiting for the footprints of the trade, and then we're gonna load up on another trade. At the moment, I'm not buying downtrend. A lot of people are buying downtrends, and that's why all of them are cooked in crypto. Probably 99% of altcoins traders, no, not traders, investors or hodlers are absolutely cooked, man. Cooked. Watch the Caspa army, watch the Theta army, watch all the armies. They have no ammunition. They are cooked, man. This army is not even exist. It's an army of cheerleaders that's been completely cooked by the market. The crypto market is cooking hodlers and investors because they buying downtrends, Jomo. That's the only reason. The main reason people get cooked in crypto, they invest in a downtrend. We don't do that. We long uptrends. We long uptrend. And you know what's funny, Jomo? These people, these baby boys that are cooked as F and trading with $10, they come here and they laugh at us because we're buying coins that going up. They are laugh at us, and and they are buying coins that going down. They're completely cooked. They have no money. They're cooked. No money, man. Cooked. A total loss. And they some of them, man, have the balls to come and tell me, hey, man, you are buying on the way up. You are a fool.
Look, dude, we're flipping the script. All the time people say buy low and sell high. And it kind of, F's people minds because they think, all right, so anything that is low is going to go higher because that's the conventional thinking. Buy low and sell higher. So what me and you are saying is we don't mind buying high and selling higher. Okay? We buy high, but we sell higher. Why? Because when you buy high many times, the probabilities of a trade to work in your favor, again, from a low risk, high reward standpoint, is good. Okay. When you buy low, as CM said, when you buy a downtrend, the probabilities are stacked against you, even if it works once, even if it works two times. Okay. It will be a loser. All right. 95% of the times if you do it in the long run. Okay, that's why people get smoked and they lose all the look again, and I say this with as much empathy as I can, because I was in these shoes in the past and I have members that are in these shoes. Okay, KAS Army, buying the dips in the back end, okay, instead of the stage 2 uptrend, buying it in the stage 4 decline, the dips, you're getting smoked. And that happens over and over again. And even buying, dips on ETH in this past cycle, you've been smoked, okay? That's what happens when you buy downtrends, when you just buy the dip, because you're thinking buy low and sell high is, kind of the belief system. So I'm trying to flip the script. Again, 90% of the people that come to the markets lose. Okay, so we need and you need to follow our lead by thinking differently than the 90% that lose, because we want to be winners. That's why we flip the script. We buy high, but we sell even higher. Okay, because as Sim said, trends, they go higher each time. You don't need to hope, you don't need to speculate. You can buy something with a degree of high probability to work. And the beauty of it, CM, is that when we find a very low risk, high asymmetric reward setup, we can go heavy, okay? And we can move the needle instantly in our accounts, okay? CM is the most aggressive son of a gun I've seen. I've seen him make 50% of his account, okay, in like one trade. Okay, last year, I don't remember when, he made 50% of his entire account in one trade. I've seen CM done that. How? Because this is how we operate. Okay, so if you want this kind of alpha, you need to join the VIPs, join CM VIPs, join mine. It doesn't matter. Okay.
All right. Nico here is saying we are very safe traders. He is in the VIP. Shout out to Nico.
Thanks, Nico.
Thinking about joining the club. Man, you can join the club, the VIP. You can join even the trade alert service for 1 month. Test it out, man. It's all good, man. Just we encourage you to study markets. Study markets. You can follow us. You can follow yourself. You can follow the greats. But just be a student of the market. We encourage you to really grow as a trader and as an individual trading the markets. That's what we want. We want the audience to grow, because most of them, when they go to crypto and they get wrecked, they're not growing. They get wrecked and then they quit. They throw the towel and that's it. That's what most people do, because they get wrecked, and it's natural. But we don't want them to get wrecked. We want them to get educated and then thrive and succeed and survive and really use the market as a tool to grow wealthy individual and not need to work for some dumbass boss that telling them, hey man, it's 8:30, you are late for the office, you are grounded now, we are done with this nonsense. We are in a different era, an era of freedom. Yeah, it's a freedom area, okay? And crypto offer freedom if you know what you're doing with it and if you know how to treat it professionally. And really, since I started crypto, at the first year I was a hodler, got wrecked completely. Second year was still working in a job. Second and third year was still working in a job to accumulate USDT. Once I had enough and I found my edge, that's it. I don't work for anyone, man. anyone. I'm a boss, a boss in all the life, in everything. It's changed your mind once you break through the servant mentality, because we are pretty much, they are, uh, they teach us from younghood, from younghood, in the school and in the college and in the uni, to be a servant, to serve your boss, to be employee, to be actually a loser. Only when you become a boss in some field, it doesn't matter which field, it can be financial, it can be social, it can be some kind of a boss, like a free individual, then you understand, hey, life is much better when you don't have someone that come and tell you, sir, you are late, your lunch break is over, you are fired. What is this nonsense, man? Come on, we don't have time. So anyway, we encourage you to
I
join
have
the
something to add, CM. I have something to add. First of all, anyone that is thinking and contemplating, the first thing you need to do is join the Gem Sniper. Okay, the Gem Sniper is on Wednesday. Join it because we're gonna give teachings over there. That's the first thing you do now. Okay, and also, CM, look, what you said is perfect. People can come test the trades, for a month or whatever. But from my experience, CM, the people that come from for 1 month, for example, then they don't come with a winner mentality. They come with, I'm going to check it and everything, and that's fine. Okay, sometimes I do that on things that I don't want to I don't put everything towards. But if you really want to be successful, take any of the VIP, because if you normalize the VIP monthly, it's the same price as the trades, but it's better. It's a better service, and also you put your mind into succeeding because you want to be in. You'll do it for 6 months, whatever, how many months you're going to do it, okay? And you at least have a mentality of being in this to win it, okay? So that's what I usually try to tell people, if you want to really succeed, go for the VIP. But of course, whatever people want to do, okay, they need to do that, of course. But when I want to succeed in something, I go for the juggernaut, okay? I go for the whatever it takes kind of tier, and that's what we have, the VIPs. And of course, come to the Gem Sniper, scan the QR code. As I said, the first one, I don't know if someone already done it, but the first one to buy the Crypto Gem Sniper now on this live, which has only a couple more minutes, will get as a free gift the seminar of mastering the bear market, which we taught how to short, okay? How to win by shorting the market. And that was incredible because the thing, what I love about it is that instead of hoping that you can hold the coin and make money if it goes up, you can make money when market goes up. You can make money when the market goes down. And the Gem Sniper is where we teach the entry points, the specific timing to do that. Okay, so people need to kind of hurry and rush towards doing it because the first one will be the winner.
Sign me up for Wednesday morning. I need coffee. The Alchemist. How are you doing? How is the weather in the UK? Is it shiny and lovely, or is it foggy and depressing? Sir, get me one coffee as well. I want a flat white. Flat
Flight
white.
mochaccino, please, with a shallow milk and
We are the Take Profits Army.
exactly, the take profit army. Exactly, we take profits. We don't
Appreciate
round
you.
trip.
Appreciate you waking my eyes about Caspa and holding bullshit scams. Got to sell my bag at break even on that last rally. Cheers,
That's good.
mate. If so he's saying he sold on the last rally. Hope he did. Amazing, man. Amazing, amazing. Happy for you, man. Happy for you, Crypto J.
So this means that he sold probably at around 12 or 13 cents, which means if he was holding it until now, he would have been at a 50% loss. Okay? So that's the power of knowing when to cut a trade loose, CM. This is called the endowment effect, CM. When people, they get in love with something and they appreciate it too much, they can't cut it loose. Okay, actually, it's called the sunk fallacy, where you put, when you put too much effort into something and then it's hard for you to kind of quit, and you say, I already put too much effort in this, so I can't quit. Same thing about people buying coins. I already bought this and I put so much effort into buying it, whatever, so they can't cut it loose. cut losing coins loose as fast as possible. Remember, risk first mentality is what is going to save you from the real bad times, and will make sure that you have ammunition for the good times.
Roscoe, good evening, sir, Mr. Antidopes. Jomo, do you know where is the antidopes, man?
Yeah, the antidopes is the other part of the earth. Meaning, if we are in Barcelona, so he's probably, I don't know, maybe in Australia or something like that.
Alrighty. Trump 2028, 2032. The stages of KAS Moonboys, such as CG. KAS is going to $20, then KAS is going to 10, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. If an extended cycle, then they will hold till 2029. Bro, they are cooked. They are cooked, man. They are cooked, and yeah, you know that. Yeah, it's a sunny day on the UK. Well, guys, it's Sunday. It's a sunny day here as well. We wish you all a Merry Christmas. Sorry, a Merry Sunday.
Merry Christmas.
enjoy the Sunday. Go have fun, and we invite you also again to join our Gem Sniper webinar. By the way, if you are a member, check out. We're gonna send you a message with a special discount for our lovely members for the webinar. As always, we treat our members with the best respect. So really check it out. Thank you for watching. Smoke the like, share it on your ex, and Jomo, we'll see you in the next live.
Cheers, everyone. No edge.